Let's move on to our main event between the cross-branded Brawlers and the Brandon Bayleefs. I was just saying this, but I'm going to say it again. Y'all ain't ready for this battle. Let's introduce our first team. The cross-branded Brawlers, led by Nahel, playing for people in need, undefeated first place at 13-0, looking to continue this undefeated streak against their opponent. We see the Oyuman of this team with the Volcarona at 7-2, with the Hisuian Gudra at 11-4. The Yu Pokemon of the Greninja is at 0-0, having been brought but has not gotten any knockouts here. The Conkeldurr is at 3-1. The RU Pokemon of the Gliscopod and Weavile each being at 9-1, with the Galarian Weezing at 7-1. The Enumons of the Mantine at 8-0, Electros at 3-0, and the Araquanid at 0-1. The PU Pokemon of the Galvantula at 0-0. He has not been brought yet, I believe, which is kind of surprising. The Whimsicott is at 11-1, and the Galarian Corsola at 6-0, with the Runerigus at 4-2. Their opponents for this week is the Brandon Bayleefs. I still don't know the correct grammar, but Brandon Bayleefs, led by Brody Ring, playing for the Wild Foundation. Currently 5th at 9-4, looking to get their 10th win against this monstrous opponent here. This team has been fantastic throughout the season. There's been a lot of fantastic teams. But the OU Pokemon, we have the Ursaluna at 1-2, which I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have more knockouts. That thing is a beast. The Hatterene is at 6-3. The UU Pokemon with the Primarina at 11-4, with the Rotom Heat at 14-5. Mr. Oven Mitts. So probably one of my favorite nicknames, Mr. Oven Mitts. The RU Pokemon, the Metagross at an even 7-7, Salazzle at 1-2, and the Flygon at 5-4. The NU Pokemon of the Chansey at 1-4, the Gigalith is at 7-7, and the Bombardier is at 0-1. And the PU-Mons with the Dodrio is at 8-4, Poliwrath at 3-0, the Shedinja not been brought yet, and good old Eldegoss at 1-2. I don't want to keep y'all waiting. This main event is literally the main event. It is so good. The Grass-Branded Brawlers bring in the Gliscopod, Runerigus, Electros, Whimsicott, Weavile, and Mantine, with the Brandon Bayleys bringing Mr. Oven Mitts, the Rotom, Ursaluna, Chansey, Primarina, Eldegoss, and Dodrio. You did your homework to a T. The thing is, I did too, but I missed a question by forgetting, by putting the wrong ability on Indeedee. I was so sad. But anyway, let's get into this battle. I am excited. Y'all should be excited too for the main event of Week 14. Brawlers lead with the Electros, with the Bayleys leading with Lil Bliss, the Chansey. The Volt Switch being used immediately by the Electros to get itself the heck out of there, with Weavile coming in to replace it. With the Stealth Rock then being set up by the Chansey. Chansey switches into Aquata, the Primarina, with the knockoff going to knock off the Choice Specs of the Primarina. The Poison Jab, though, is going to knock out the Primarina, though, taking down that Little Mermaid, with Mr. Oven Mitts coming in. The switch out from the from the Weavile into the Electros to predict the Volt Switch here. The Rotom going into Bartholomew, the Ursaluna. And the Facade is going to bonk the Electros in just one hit. The Runerigus comes in. Ruse, I don't know what that means, but the Chansey is going to switch. And the Body Press is going to do a lot of damage here, but not quite enough to take down this Chansey. The Soft Boiled is going to bring it back to almost full HP with another Body Press, doing some more chip damage here. The Toxic, though, is going to land onto this Runerigus, the Body Press bringing Chansey down to 10% HP here. And the switch from the Runerigus into Myleo, the Mantine. Soft-Boiled is going to bring the Chansey back to over half HP, with the Rain Dance then being set up with another Soft-Boiled, bringing the Chansey back to full HP. The Toxic, though, is going to be set up by both of the Pokemon. Both Pokemon now on a timer here. A Skull then being used to do a little bit of chip damage here, with the Seismic Toss doing some damage back to the Mantine. The Roost, though, is going to bring Mantine back to over half the HP, with the Soft Boiled bringing Chansey back to full. The Health Stall battle. Roost is going to bring it back to full HP here, with a Seismic Toss bringing it back down. Mantine switches into the Runerigus, with the Chansey going for a Seismic Toss, of course being immune because of the Ghost typing of this Pokemon here. Chansey only at 27% HP, though. Switching out, though, is going to get cured, and going into the Eldegoss, the body press is going to do some good damage, but also drop the speed. Not drop the speed. Interesting. Whimsicott comes in with a Charm, going to lower the attack of the Whimsicott here. Eldegoss switches into Mr. Oven Mitts. The Defog is going to take the whatever traps out, with the Rotom going for the Volt Switch back into Bartholomew, the Ursaluna. The Giga Drain is going to do a lot of damage, but not too much, though. With the Facade going to take down the Whimsicott. Getting 2 knockouts here from this Ursaluna. Weavile comes back in. Ursaluna switching out into the Rotom. The Triple Axle is going to connect and do a little bit of damage, a little more, and do about half the damage of the Rotom here, and the Life Orb is going to drop it down. The Runerigus comes in with the Overheat. A good prediction from the switch of the Overheat doing some damage to the Runerigus, but not too much to knock it out. The Rotom switching out into the Eldegoss to eat another Body Press. The Rocky Helmet doing some chip damage, and the Toxic bringing it back down really low. The switch from the Runerigus into Gliscopod, though, taking the Leech Seed now to give the Eldegoss some recovery. The switch from the Eldegoss, though, into Ed-Ed-Eddy. The knockoff doing a lot of damage and taking down the Choice Band of the Dodrio. The switch from the Gliscopod, though, to predict the Brave Bird and take down the Runerigus. The Weavile comes back in, and the Dodrio switches out into the Blissey with a Triple Axle connecting, hitting twice, hitting the 3 times to take down the Chansey. Rotom Heat comes back out. Weavile switches back out into the Mantine with the Volt Switch, a good prediction from the Brandon Bayleefs to take down the Mantine with the Eldegoss coming back in. The Triple Axle is going to miss the Weavile. And the Charm dropping his attack in half, forcing the Weavile to switch back into Gliscopod, with the Gliscopod getting leech seeded here by the Eldegoss. The switch from the Eldegoss, though, into Rotom to predict the Leech Life. A really good prediction here to resist that hit. The Leech Seed bringing back more, but the Aqua Jet is going to outspeed and take down Rotom. Eldegoss then comes back out. The Giga Drain is going to do some chip damage here. Citrus Berry bringing it back to over half HP, enough to keep it in the battle. The Leech Life bringing it back to full. The Eldegoss going for the Charm, dropping the attack. The Leech Life is going to knock it out, though. But this Gliscopod is in a pretty bad situation, being at half attack. The Aqua Jet is not going to be enough to take it down, with the Facade taking down the Gliscopod with just 1 Pokemon left of the Cross-Branded Brawlers. Weavile comes back in, though. The Ice Shard is going to outspeed and take down the Ursaluna. Is Dodrio in a good enough position to survive an Ice Shard? It is not. The Dodrio falling to the priority of the Weavile, and the Cross-Branded Brawlers coming out with a victory just barely. But a fantastic showing from the Brandon Bayleefs, and a fantastic main event. Brandon Bayleefs has now knocked out the most Pokemon of this team, and showed that it is possible to almost beat this team. That was a fantastic game from both of you. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Good games to both of you.